Hi guys, we are going to demonstrate the proper way to do a Chaturanga. And this is probably one of the #1 postures that you need to learn in class, and probably one of the #1 postures that is completely wrecked in class. As a yoga instructor, I will inevitably always fight to get a proper Chaturanga in the class. And it's just about body awareness and how we hold our body. Most of us have a very forward motion in our body, whether it's cell phones or working on computers or driving. And so having the collarbones open when we're really moving through a posture tends to be difficult. So what we're looking for, first we're going to do a modified Chaturanga, which actually works your abs very well, almost better than the full plank to Chaturanga, because the focus is not overloading the upper body, it sinks it into the abs more. So if you feel like you need to drop to your knees for Chaturanga, you can offset that thought with the fact that you're working your abs harder. So the first thing that we're going to look for, and I'll have her demonstrate in a moment, is that we're looking for the collarbones to stay open, the elbows to stay along the sides like little T-Rex arms, and that our heart is coming forward in the posture. So typically when we're in plank and we have this extension, to bring our heart down, I see a lot of people really bring it in to where their hands come to their shoulders. What we need to do is feel as though we're pulling ourselves forward, because ultimately we will come into up dog, which is like a dog dragging himself across the carpet. So there's this very pull forward, chest open position. So we want to set that up with our plank into our Chaturanga. So Stephanie's going to show you first. On her knees, she's going to bring her hands out into a modified plank. She's going to drop, before she draws down, she's going to draw her shoulder blades back and really engage her core. Actually, by pushing the knees down, just as though she would push the feet down, will enable her to suck the core in. Now she's going to keep her collarbones open, and she's going to pull her heart forward and halfway down. There you go. And then come back to child's pose. So she's going to rest there. Now, once she gets a little bit more into the posture, she will feel as though the back of the neck will grow longer, and she might be able to come down a little bit more. So I'm going to have her come up into the pose, and I'm going to have her come into the all fours. She's going to keep her vision down at the floor in the back of the neck long. Now she's going to pull herself forward and bend her knees, or bend her elbows, there you go, and come all the way right there, and then inhale, push right back up. Now go back to child's pose. Now, when we go on our toes and into a plank position, it's very important to keep the inner thighs fired up. So basically, every muscle in your body is engaged. The rules of engagement in a plank pose to Chaturanga is not only that the hands are pulling together, the feet and inner thighs are pulling together, but the hands are pulling back to the feet, and the feet are pulling to the hands as though you're trying to stretch the mat. So there's this internal focus of everything moving to a center focal point. So what I see is that most people get weak in the legs, which is the connection to the upper body through the abs. So firing off the legs and really keeping the collarbones open. So I am actually going to give her a block when she comes up. And I'd like you guys to try this at home if you're having problems with your plank. So you're going to put this in between your inner thighs, and then you're going to come onto your toes, full-fledged plank. Now she's going to squeeze this block, and all of a sudden her body's probably going to feel a little bit lighter than when the block wasn't there. And she's going to come forward, bring her chest forward halfway down. Notice how her elbows are in. Inhale, push back up. Nice. Exhale to your down dog, and I'm going to remove this block for you. And so this time she goes through it, she's going to do the same thing, but she's going to imagine this block is there. She's going to inhale, float to plank position. Her feet squeeze together, her hands squeeze together, her hands and feet squeeze towards one another. As her elbows come back, she's going to come halfway forward. There you go. And she's going to push right back up. Nice. Go ahead and go to child's pose. Now, I'm going to have her demonstrate kind of what I see wrong in a plank or a chaturanga. One, I see people sag their butt or they lift their butt too high. So she's going to come to a plank, and I'm going to ask her to kind of lift her hiney up. There you go. So I see a little of this, and then people try to go to chaturanga, and that's like a nosedive. It actually makes it harder. Or people sag. And that puts so much pressure on the back and the shoulders. So you're really looking for your hips to be higher than your elbows and your head to be in line with your shoulders. Very good. Thank you.